ॐ नमो हरिहन्ताणम् ॐ नमो सिंहाणम् ॐ नमो आयर्याणम् ॐ नमो भुवच्छायाणम् ॐ नमो लोहिसर्गसाहुरम् एसो पञ्चनमोकारो सर्वपावकणासनो मङ्गलाणं च सर्वेसि प्रथमं हवै मङ्गलम् ॐ नमो हरिहन्ताणम् ॐ नमो सिंहाणम् ॐ नमो आयर्याणम् ॐ नमो भुवच्छायाणम् ॐ नमो लोहिसर्गसाहुरम् एसो पञ्चनमोकारो सर्वपावकणासनो मङ्गलाणं च सर्वेसि प्रथमं हवै मङ्गलम् प्रथमं हवै मङ्गलम् प्रथमं हवै मङ्गलम् चत्तारि मङ्गलम् अरिहन्ता मङ्गलम् सीता मङ्गलम् साहु मङ्गलम् केवली पन्नतो धम्मो मङ्गलम् मङ्गलं मङ्गलम् अरिहन्ता मङ्गलम् चत्तारि लोकोत्तमा अरिहन्ता लोकोत्तमा सीता लोकोत्तमा साहु लोकोत्तमा केवली पन्नतो धम्मो लोकोत्तमो मङ्गलं मङ्गलम् अरिहन्ता मङ्गलम् मङ्गलं मङ्गलम् अरिहन्ता मङ्गलम् चत्तारि शरणं अगच्छामि अरिहन्ते शरणं अगच्छामि सीते शरणं अगच्छामि साहु शरणं अगच्छामि केवली कलिपन्नतं धम्मं शरणं प्रगच्छामि मङ्गलं मङ्गलं हरिहन्ता मङ्गलं 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 हरिहन्ता मङ्गलं मङ्गलं हरिहन्ता मङ्गलं 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 हरिहन्ता मङ्गलम्।
Jai Janendra. Today is July 10th, 2020, Friday, and here we are for our pathshala class. Today is going to be lots of fun, I can assure you. Actually, we are starting a new chapter, and the new chapter is actually, in general, it's very difficult, but to you guys, nothing is difficult. You guys are so worked up everything. So we'll make it easy. We'll have lots of fun today. Lots of pictures, lots of fun, lots of two-way talking and everything. And we'll find it out. We'll have some idea. We'll know what we are talking about. Okay, all right. So we are on the chapter number 3. We just said dhala. First chapter is symptoms. In terms of patient, first dhala is symptoms. Why I am suffering in a human life, why I am suffering in animal and plant life, why I am suffering in a hellish life and heavenly life. And we just talked about suffering everywhere. Then second dhala said, you know, those suffering, there is one root cause. And that root cause is wrong belief. Wrong belief is a root cause. Hellish soul, they are suffering. Plant and animal souls, they are suffering. Human being, we already see the suffering here and there all the time. People become sick and tired, and people become very sick, and people die, and all the things. And even in the heavenly soul, they also have suffering because of greed. I want more and more and more, like that. So different types of suffering in every living being. But the root cause is a wrong belief. And what is a wrong belief? This is me. Body is me. Body is me. Body is me. I am the body. I'm the owner of the body. I can do the work for the body. So that's a wrong belief. And we went through in extreme detail about it. So now we are coming to a treatment part. How can I take this wrong belief out? And that's what this third chapter is. Third, fourth, fifth, sixth, all 4 chapters are treatment aspect. Third chapter is talking about samyak darshan, right faith. Fourth chapter will talk about right knowledge and right conduct. And fifth and sixth, they will continue. So here, without further delay, I'll bring the slides and we'll start talking from there, okay? I have to bring the slides. So I have to open the slides first. Okay, here we go. Dhala 3. All right. So we already have talked this kind of thing last week, and we just said what is Samyak Darshan, what is Samyak Gnan, what's Samyak Charitra. Let's quickly check it out and then go next thereafter. Slideshow. So we just said If I don't go to deluding state or altered state and I remain in my innate state, that means this circle, this vicious circle starts falling down. And that means if I get myself, bring the faith to my eternal soul substance, if I go into the innate state, and that is called experiencing experiencing the self, and that's called right faith, or it's called samyak darshan. Just by taking this line out, which I'm doing it since time infinite in the past, forever and ever and ever and ever. So now finally, somehow, I'm going to take that line out, and that means now I'm in the eternal state of the soul, and I'm in the innate state. That means it's called right faith, or it's called samyak darshan. Now let's go next. When the samyak darshan occurs, that means I believe that all the karma and deluding state and karma bondage and karma fruition, whole universe on this side is away from me. They're separate from me. They're not part of me. Mexico is a separate country than USA. Canada is a separate country than USA. There is a demarcating, their borders are there, but two countries are separate. Similarly, the soul says, you know what, I'm the soul and I'm not this side. I'm USA, I'm not Mexico. I'm USA, I'm not Canada. There is a demarcation lines are there. And to believe that I am not the Canada or Mexico, I'm USA. I am myself. To know that part, that's called right knowledge. Me as a soul substance is entirely separate from worldly objects. All these worldly objects are away from me. That's called right knowledge. And then to get engrossed into the soul substance, that's called samyak charitra, or right conduct. And we saw that part last week. Now we are going to dwell on these pictures. We are going to go further down. So now, we are going to, in the third dhala, it says stanza 1, we are going to talk about it. Dhala 3, stanza 1, we are going to talk about it. What it says, this whole stanza, whole chapter, dhala number 3, it says liberation and path to liberation. Liberation means moksha, and path to liberation is moksha marg. So the whole chapter is going to talk about liberation and path to the liberation. Where am I right now? I'm on the bondage form. I'm on the bondage, and I'm on the path of bonding, influent bondage. But I'm going to go in liberation state. And to go to liberation state, first I have to go on the path of it. So this stanza, this whole chapter talks about this thing. So it's going to be very detailed, but I can assure you, we will go through very nicely. We'll breeze through the whole thing because I have confidence on you kids. So now let's see. Before we start doing, first we are going to listen to this stanza. So this is English and Hindi, but then we'll play over here and see how it goes.
आकुलता बिन कही आकुलता शिव माही न ताते शिव मगला ग्यो चही सम्यक दर्शन ज्ञान चरण शिव मग सो विनिध विचारो जो सत्यार्थ रूप सो निश्चय कारण सो व्यवहारो
Beautiful stanza, beautiful, beautiful, very nice stanza. And it is a extreme, deep meanings are there. Number one, we are just going to take each and every word and try to dissect and just say what it tries to say. Atma ko hita hai sukh so, sukha akulta bin kahiye, akulta siva mahin tate, siva magal lagyo chahiye. So, Atam Kohit means spiritual well-being of the soul. Hai means ease. Sukh, spiritual bliss. So Sukh, that spiritual bliss. Akulta Binu means free from perplexity. Kaye, understand. Akulta, perplexity. Sivmahi, not in liberation. Tate, therefore. Sivamag, path to liberation. Lagu chahiye, must follow. Samyak darshan gnan charita, right faith, right knowledge, right conduct. So, therefore, Sivamag, path to liberation. Duvid, two kinds. Vicharo, think. There's a typo over here, but it's a thing. Jo, that. Satyarat, actual or intended path. Sunishchay, so from absolute point of view. Karan, so cause to attain. Vyavaharo, convention point of view. These are just, it doesn't make any difference to you people right now. We just give you meaning of each word. It doesn't make any difference. It doesn't make any sense right now. Yes, I understand. Just because we are dissecting each word right now, we are giving general meaning of that. But now we are going to go, as I said, it's an absolute, detailed stanza. So much that in my adult class that I take in a pathshala class in the temple, we have talked on this stanza alone for about 8 or 10 classes by itself. So you know how much important this stanza is. And I can assure you, we are going to make it so easy that you will say, wow, sit down here, come here. So, where's Sana? Ask her to come here. Everybody, come here. Okay. So, we are just going to look and dissect each and every word, and we will find it out what it means. It will be really fun, really fun. Sit down here. Okay. So now, meaning of the stanza is, you can sit down on a chair. Okay. Okay. So, what is meaning of the stanza? It says, absolute right conduct is associated with absolute right faith and knowledge, which means nothing to you people right now. I understand. Soul with absolute right faith has subjective articulate knowledge. Again, doesn't make any sense. Absolute and conventional point of view arise from this knowledge. Therefore, person with wrong faith cannot have partial point of views. So this is the some meaning of the stanza. Don't worry about it. Now, okay, now we are going to start here. Tell me, what do you see here? Sana, tell me, what do you see here? In this picture, what do you see? And you guys can unmute and tell me, what do you see here?
A girl. A girl. A boy.
It looks like a lady is looking away from the screen.
She's looking at what?
It looks like there's a lady sitting with a feather in her hair and she's looking away.
Looking away, okay. Anybody else wants to say anything else?
Wait, is this one of those like optical illusions where like there's two pictures?
It looks like an old man with his afro hair above his eyes.
Okay. What do you see here? What do you see here?
A girl.
A girl. Do you? But who did say that afro hair? What did you? Who was that?
That was me. That was me.
Me. Who is me?
Ishan.
Ishan.
Ishan's upstairs.
Okay, all right. So.
Ishan, what's your name?
Okay.
Oh, I see it now. I see it now.
What do you see now?
Yeah, it's like an old man. It's like a man with a hood.
Yeah, it's like a man with a hood, and then the other way, it's just like a woman looking away.
Do you see two things here, or do you see one thing only?
One, two things.
Yeah, there's two things.
What are the two things you are seeing?
Yeah. Sup, yo?
Do you see two or one?
Looks like a pumpkin.
Okay, all right. So let's see. Let's see. So do you see two or do you see one? Everybody.
Ooh.
Two.
Do you see two? No. Do you see two? No. Yes. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go and show you why there are two faces here. So for example, there's a color picture over here. So here, this person has an eye, nose, chin. Sorry.
How is it an old man?
This is old lady, right? With a hair, with scarf on the head, and that they're over here. And this is the eye. This is nose. This. Okay. Do you see this old lady here?
I do.
Okay. Do you see the one eye and second eye? Do you see a nose over here?
Yeah. But how is it? I see it.
Nose, and this is the chin. This is the chin. Oh, why did? Oh, come on.
I don't know. I see it.
No, so look. Okay. So this is the chin of that lady, right?
I see it.
You see? So this is a lady right now, right? Okay, now from the other picture, if you look at it, this is a young girl over here because these are the eyes of that girl. This is her nose looking away from it. This is her chin. This is her ear. And this is her neck with a necklace on it. Can you see the young girl? So we see two pictures in this one, right? So there's some okay. So there are two things we are seeing, but it depends on our perspective. What perspective? How do I want to look at it? If I want to look for the young girl only, then oh yeah, young girl with the black hair and looking away, and there is her neck is there with a necklace and everything. We can see that way, or we can see old lady looking on the left side like this. So perspective. It depends how I want to look at it. You know, many years back, the same picture was shown to me by somebody in one of the medical conference, and they divided two half of the class, and one half they said close your eyes, and other half that was awake with the eyes open, they showed the young girl's picture. Then the author said, okay, now those who are closed eyes they open, those who are open eyes they close. So the next set of picture was an old lady, and then he puts this picture and says, what do you see? People who had seen that old lady's picture, they say we see only old lady. People who saw the young girl, they say they saw young girl, but actually it's both the pictures in the same picture we have it. So it depends perspective. What is your perspective? Talking about it. Tell me what do you see here now? What do you see here? Anybody? You can just you can.
I see two things.
Huh?
I see a trophy, and I see two people next to each other.
Wait, I don't see. Do we see two people?
No.
Do we see two people? Everybody?
I see a statue.
I see two people in white.
So in the white are two people, right? So this is the boy.
Two people in a pillar. Two people in a pillar.
Yeah. So a table or a pillar or table. So this is the boy and this is a girl or two people. You see two people now? So So see, how can you be full? This is very important because this way, remember, when we look here, listen, no singing. Somebody's singing right now. So keep a concentration here. So this way we are looking two people, and there's a table in between. It just depends what perspective I want to use it. Okay, one more thing we can go through. What do we see here? Skeleton face.
I see a skull.
A
Skull?
Two people
And a girl
talking
in a
to
mirror.
each other.
It's a girl in a mirror. It's a girl in a mirror.
It's both the skull and the girl in the mirror.
Skull and girl in the mirror. Now you guys are getting smart.
Or it's two girls sitting to eat dinner.
No. It's a mirror.
Okay.
Okay, you can. Yeah, what I'm trying to say, point across going over here is we have to understand different. Let's say that I'm an evil-minded person. I said this is skull only. This is skull only. That's it. Or somebody who is an artistic person and he said, no, I can see a beautiful girl sitting in front of the mirror getting ready. We are sitting on small pictures. Yeah. So now it becomes your perspective. Now let's say that somebody says, no, it's skull only. No, it's a lady only. Now, who is right and who is not right? Everybody is right from their perspective.
Both are right.
Both are right.
Everyone's wrong because it's both.
So you have to understand that both could be right. Now I'm going to give you a practical example. You want to play video game and you are really busy with a video game, and mommy says, sit down and read the book. My mom is a pain. She just bothers me all the time. Who is right here? Who is not right here?
Both are right on each perspective.
No, I think the mom's right.
No.
That's not true. That's just wrong. Okay?
Because remember, mom wants you to be smart. So she may have to use a harsh word, and that's why you just don't like her at that particular moment. But the kid says, but I want to relax and I want to play the game. I have given time to my friend and I want to play the game. Is the kid wrong also? No, he wants to play the game.
Not at all.
So now in that family life, now there's a fight going on between the kid and the mother. But if both of them thinks from different perspective, then who is right? Who is wrong?
Then they won't get along. Then they won't get along in the first place.
See, so that's what you have to think about. That let's say that I don't like something. I don't like something. I hate something. But hate something. But did you see the other perspective? For example, in Phoenix, in summertime, it's going to be 110-degree temperature, right? And people complain, gosh, it's too hot. Hey, you know what? If in July, if it is not 110, is it going to be in December? Why can't you accept it? Why can't you see that way, that the summer will be there, will be followed by fall and winter, etc., etc. So perspective is very important. Before you make any judgment, before you make anybody say, this guy is bad. Now, I'm going to give you another example. There was one guy wearing a white clothes and he's reciting some verses, some religious verses and everything. He's standing under a tree and he's throwing the grains on the ground, and from the sky, lots of birds are coming down towards the tree to eat those grains. There's another guy. He's ugly looking guy. He's unshaven. He may not have taken bath for several days. He has a beard and mustache and broken clothes and everything. And he had a toy gun on his hand. And he just fires the toy gun in the air. And all those birds, they run away. Who is good? Who is bad here? Who is good? Who is bad? Is the guy who was throwing the grain on the ground, and this other guy, a dirty looking, very, very shabby looking guy, and he fires the gun in the air and birds are flying away. So who is good? Who is bad?
Why did he fire the gun in the air?
He wanted to have those birds fly away. That's it. He was just, that's it. So who is good? Who is bad here? In general, I mean, it's not a rocket science. It's to answer could be one, right? It could. He was maybe this guy with the white clothes and the singing bhajans and everything and throwing grains. Maybe he's good. The other guy, birds are trying to eat the food, and he just made the bird fly away. This is only the scenario I'm giving you. That means the shabby looking guy is a bad guy, and the person in the white clothes looking good guy, right? Now we just look for the intention for both of them. We go in their mind. This person who is of white clothes and singing bhajans and everything and throwing grains, he had put the trap underneath so that when the birds they come, they get trapped. So he catches them, and whether he sells them or kills them or whatever, that's what he has an evil intention. The other guy who was a bad looking guy, he found out that these birds are going to be dead. So he fires the gun in the air and birds fly away, so they are safe. Now who is good, who is bad?
The other way around.
So you have to understand perspective. You can't blame just by looking at one track thing only. You have to understand from all the different angles. Okay. Having said that, let's take one more picture. What do we see here?
A flower.
A lady.
A flower and a person.
So flower and a beautiful lady, both the things we see here, right? See, now that we saw first 2-3 pictures, now we know that we are very careful and saying that there should be two things. So that's what we are looking over here. Again, my perspective. If I'm the flower-oriented person, I see only flower and the butterfly. There's a butterfly over here, and there's a flower and flower bird, and etc., etc. But from the other way around, there's a beautiful lady with the lipstick and nose and eye and everything. So my perspective. I'm going to keep hitting that word because that's the most important thing in this stanza, that perspective word. One more thing. What do we see?
Rabbit and a duck. A rabbit and a duck.
A rabbit and a duck.
And a duck.
A rabbit and a duck. A rabbit
and a duck.
Simple thing, right? Simple picture, but it can give two different meanings to us, right? So rabbit or duck depends on which way we are looking at it. But we have to have both the idea. Now, suppose there is we are talking about rabbit right now, then in this picture we'll consider as rabbit. But now I'm talking about duck. So now this picture will represents about duck. I have to have both the sides in my mind, and then who is principal thing we are talking? Picture shows two things, duck and rabbit, but we are talking about duck, so rabbit is made secondary. Or we are talking about other way around, that one person is made, one entity is made secondary, one made is primary. And so primary, secondary, that's what you have to understand, right? Does it make sense so far?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Now let's see one more thing. It's going to be a fun thing. How many legs do you see here?
No legs.
No.
Yeah.
Huh? There are no legs?
No.
Yeah, his legs just disappear. See?
No.
No, his legs actually disappear.
Yeah, they
No.
do actually disappear,
What disappeared?
except for his leg in the back.
Oh yeah. He has one leg.
7.
Huh? Leah
He
says
is
7.
1, 2,
Somebody
3, 4.
It's an optical illusion.
Yeah, but so tell me, how many legs do you see here?
4,
We-
5.
I see one real leg.
6.
Pathshala.
I know, and then
I see 5.
I see 5 fake legs.
Pathshala.
Okay. All right. Now.
I see exactly 6. I just counted.
4, right? Right? 4 legs are there. And so now what I'm trying to say, that we
But
can be
thumbs
fooled,
up.
our mind can be fooled, but we have to be really careful. And what is this thing is relation to the Jainism or this stanza we are talking? Array, that's what is important. That's what we are going to talk about it. And that will be very important thing, because as I say, we will make it a little fun thing right now, but then we go in very serious business. So my mom keeps on bothering me all the time, and I just don't like it. Why your mom is going to bother you? Tell me. Because she wants best for you. And for that thing, plus she loves you so much. That's why she will just take that steps and can really become angry or something which you may not like. She may behave that way because she cares for you. That's very important you to understand. So when mom says something you don't like it, remember that she cares for you. That's why she's going to tell you something contrary. What difference does it make to your neighbor who doesn't care for you? He says, oh yeah, this kid is on the wrong path and everything. This kid is taking drugs and everything. And but what difference does it make to the neighbor? They don't care about it. But mom and dad or brothers and sisters, they care for you. So when they give something contrary, listen to their viewpoint. Viewpoint, perspective, that is very important. Now, let's go a little bit now. So, who am I? Am I a father? Am I a son? Am I a grandfather? Am I a grandson? Am I husband, brother, uncle, nephew? Who am I? Tell me.
Well, you could be
All of them.
all of
All of
that.
them.
Very good. Very nice. So,
All of them on a different perspective.
this different perspective. When I'm talking to my son, I am a father. When I'm talking to my dad, I'm a son, and so on and so forth. So you know what? Besides Jain philosophy, other philosophies, they say, you Jains are nuts. Sometimes you just say you're a father, sometimes you say you're a son, sometimes you're a grandfather, sometimes you're a husband. Come on, come to conclusion. You guys are confused. Jains are confused. That's what other philosophies are telling. And these are the facts I'm telling you.
Mhm.
But Jains say, do you know the perspective? I'm talking to my grandson. I'm talking to my grandson. That's why I'm grandfather right now. But at the same time, I'm talking to my son, so I'm a father right now. But I'm talking to my uncle, so I'm nephew right now. So different type. So I could be anything: father, son, grandpa, grandson, husband, brother, uncle, nephew. But when I'm talking to my son right now, my fatherhood point is predominant, primary. Everything else becomes secondary. When I'm talking to my grandson, then my grandfather's status becomes primary and everything else becomes secondary. They don't go away, they are secondary. Remember now, this is very critical point coming here. Now we are entering into Jain philosophy, that why Jains are saying something, the other philosophies, they say they are nuts. Jains are nuts. They don't understand. They just say this and that and everything. Sometimes they say it's a grandfather, sometimes a grandson, sometimes a husband, brother. But because Jains use the perspective. So now we are coming to nitty-gritty things. Sit down here. Nitty-gritty things. Now, is the soul transient or eternal? Tell me. Is soul transient or soul eternal?
Both.
It depends what perspective I'm using, because
Yeah, it depends on the perspective.
soul, if I take I'm the soul as a substance. I was in the lowest form of life. I was in 1 sense, I was in 2 sense, I was 3 sense, 4 sense, I'm 5 sense human being. I could be in hell, heaven, animal, plant, whatever. But at the time, I'm the soul, is a soul, is a soul, is a soul, is a soul. Gold that you have it. Gold in the form of ring is there, that's also gold. Gold in the form of necklace also is a gold. Gold in the form of bracelet is also gold. Gold is belt also is a gold. Everything is gold. Gold is a gold is a gold. Remember we saw that pictures long back in which we said the rock in the mine have the gold particles. And we said that's a gold rock. Then you bring that gold rock home and you pulverize, and lots of garbage comes out, and some of the gold gets purified. Then you pass through the acid, and some more dirt comes out. Then you put the fire, and ultimately everything gets burned out, and finally a gold piece comes out. So that gold was present in the mine also. Gold was present in pulverized dirt also. Gold was present in the acid. Gold was present in the fire, and gold is present now as a final pure fruit. So gold is a gold is a gold is a gold. Soul is a soul is a soul is a soul. So I'm saying that soul is eternal because soul, from substance perspective, substance can never be produced, never be destroyed. It changes form. Water in the ocean is a liquid. Summer heat, water becomes vapor. It's a gas form. Water goes to cloud, and then it becomes cool down. It becomes snow. It's a solid. That snow becomes melted in springtime. Then it's a liquid again. So liquid to vapor to solid, it keeps on going again and again and again. But H2O, water, remains water, period, no matter what. Water was never created, will never be destroyed, it changes the form. So soul was never created, will never be destroyed, it changes form. So soul's perspective, substance perspective, soul is eternal. But soul is transient also. I am angry man right now. So how long my anger lasts? How long? 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. How long it lasts? Short time.
Okay.
I'm greedy right now. I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. How long the greed lasts? Transiently. So anger, deceit, ego, greed, likes, dislike, all those things are transient. So
Okay.
if I'm looking from mode perspective, changes perspective, then soul can be called transient. Yes, the angry, this young man became, not, this old man become angry. So it's a transient phase. Similarly, the soul is pure forever. Soul is always there. This soul was in the lowest form of life, then became 1 sense, became 2 sense, 3 sense, 4 sense, 5 sense, human being, animal, plant, and hellish, heaven. All those changes. That's why soul is also called transient. So what perspective you want to use it? You want to use transient perspective, then soul is transient. You want to use eternal perspective, then soul is eternal. Now, you know what? Now I'm going to give you something to think about. One of my friend, good friend of mine, very nice friend, my schoolmate, and he's in New York. He's a Hindu, and we discussed religion on a nice terms. He says Gita the Hindu has a Gita, and they believe soul is eternal only. There is no transiency in the soul. So eternal soul is eternal only. In Buddhism, they believe soul is only transient. Now, Jain said, no, 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 no. It depends what perspective you use it. Soul can be eternal from substance perspective. Soul could be transient from modal perspective. Soul could be both. And so they just say, you guys are nuts. You Jains are nuts. Come to terms. Is it eternal or transient? And Jain says, use your perspective, son. Use your perspective. So this is what Jainism is about. Right now, by doing this fun exercise and everything.
So basically everything, every religion and every topic is right in a way.
No, you know, but what angle they are picking up. But the overall picture we have to see it. Yes, from Gita, Hindu, when there's a soul is eternal, from that one perspective only they are talking. Buddhism says the soul is transient, only one perspective they are talking. But combined together, whole thing when you take it, into consideration, you have to understand that there is a transiency and eternity both. And at one time, I'm going to use this eternity as a principal thing. Other time, I'm going to use a transiency as a principal thing. But they both have to be known. For example, on this one, no, I'm only father, period. That's it. No, I'm father for one perspective, but I'm nephew from the other perspective. So one, I had to know it, that Kirit is a father, he's also son, he's a grandfather, he's a grandson, he's a husband, he's brother, he's uncle, he's nephew, and he's so many all other things. He's an Indian, he's a Jain, he's living in Phoenix, he used to be a doctor, he's an old man now, and all those things. Every perspective you have to know it, and then which one is you are making primary, which one you are making importance to one thing. So that has to be known. So can everybody be okay from their own perspective? But the complete picture has to be known to start with. And that's what Jains tried to explain, that how Jainism differs from other philosophy. And so one has to be really be proud of it, that we are Jains and we know what it is and we are aware of it and everything. So this is what it is right now. So time is up already. What I want to do, I still had to go a lot more thing, but we'll keep it for next week. So any questions so far? Today, main thing we learn is perspective. We have to use perspective in our mind, know the complete detail about the whole thing, and then use the perspective. In the first picture, we are talking about young girl. Then old lady is there, but she's made secondary, and we are talking about young girl only. When we are talking about old lady, then old lady is made primary and primary or principal, and the young lady was made secondary. Same thing with the rabbit and duck. If you're telling rabbit story, if I'm telling rabbit story to my grandchild, then that rabbit we are taking that picture into account. If I'm talking duck, then it will be duck will be it will be taken into account. But I have to be aware of it. The picture has duck and rabbit both. So that's what Jainism says. And as I said, this is going to be a fun ride. We'll go slowly, because right now in your mind, that perspective thing is really hitting very hard. Now, Now that if somebody, let's say that you are telling, let's say two people are over here, and one is saying it's night, and I say it's a day, and actually it's a 7:30 in the evening, for example, and sun just sat down, and evening has started, the dusk has started. It's still not dark enough, but still I can see everything around. Is it day or night? Tell me. Could it be day or could it be night or could it be both?
It could be both.
It can be both.
So I have to know that both are there, and then we are talking about something that, oh, I can see the mountain top from here. Then you're talking day's perspective. But so sun has set, and now because sunset occurred, so now I cannot, as a giant, I don't take a meals after the sunset. So even though it's a light around, but sun already set, so according to me, it's a night started. So I have to have idea about both, and then give what principal thing we are talking about. So
Period.
that, yeah.
Period, Uncle. So, but even isn't there still some things that are right and wrong? Like you can't have everything explained by perspective.
You right and wrong for your own perspective.
Like,
let's say
like if someone said that they think eating meat is wrong, right, and I said no, it's wrong. Can I just be like, oh, don't worry, it's their perspective?
you know, because okay, now okay, it's a practical point. You're saying two people are over here, and one says eating meat is the right thing, and this guy say eating meat is wrong thing. Who is right, who is wrong? Rather than fight at that point, what I'm here, I say this guy says meat is right to eat, this guy says meat is wrong to eat. Now over here,
Depends on perspective.
this guy will say, hey, you know what, that's your perspective, I respect your opinion, I may not agree with that, I don't agree with that, I respect your opinion. If we say that, could there be a fight, or could there be a nice discussion can occur? No, you're wrong, you're wrong. No, no, I'm wrong, you are wrong. No, no, you are wrong. And you can just start fighting, for example, and nothing happens. But rather than that, you know what, if you say meat eating is right, that's your opinion, I respect your opinion, I don't agree with that, I just respect your opinion that you are coming from certain perspective, but listen to my perspective, and then you decide. And if we just talk in the cool mind, then guy can have thought process going within, and he may say, oh yeah, that makes sense, you know. So this is the way we can start working, rather than you are wrong, period, case closed, you are wrong. No. You have to understand what from where he's coming from. So that's what we have to think about. And this will give a lots of questions. Don't worry about it. We will discuss, because this stanza is extreme detail. One stanza is, as I said, in my class for last several years, we are just in the class. Still, we took several weeks for this stanza to understand. So here we are starting on a right track, and then we will just continue doing that, and we'll go further. Any other suggestions or questions?
Where does the soul go when it's apart from the body?
Soul is like, for example, can you see air? Can you see air? Can you see a fragrance? Let's say the flower is a sweet, it's a flower is a great fragrance. Can you see the fragrance? No. Can you see the sound? No. Similarly, can you see the soul? No. Can you hear the soul? No. Can you taste the soul? No. Because these are the senses we are talking about. But soul is a colorless, and it has no shape or anything. And once a soul, let's say that if one entity, one living being over here dies right now, means soul gets separated. Soul immediately within 3 samay gets born somewhere else, right away, within 3 samay. Samay means blink of an eye, innumerable samay units pass by, million, billion, trillion, quadrillion, and beyond. Out of those million, billion, trillion, quadrillion, in a blink of an eye, you take 3 samay and soul gets born somewhere else. Transmigratory soul. When the soul becomes completely free, then it goes on the top of the universe. It's called Siddhashila, and there it remains in a blissful state forever and ever and ever and ever. And that's what our aim is, to go to Siddhashila, to go to the Adobe of Siddha, to just rest there for the blissful state and knowledge state forever. Any other questions, or does it make sense?
No.
No?
No questions. No questions.
Okay.
It made sense to me.
It
Thank you.
makes sense. It makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah. No questions. Just no questions.
Okay, all right, very nice. So we can just do the closing over here, and who's going to volunteer? Maybe
I can do it.
yeah, go ahead.
Om Namo Rihantaranam. Om Namo Siddharanam. Om Namo Ayariyanam. Om Namo Vajayanam. Namo Loe Savasahurnam. Eso Panchanamokaro. Savapavapanasano. Mangalanam Chasavesim. Paramam Havai Mangalam.
Thank you. But I remember when we say Om, then you have to put Om everywhere. Om Namo Loe Sarvasavanam, we have to say that way. Om Namo Riyantam, Om Namo Siddham, Om Namo Aryam, Om Namo Jam, Om Namo Loe Sarvasavanam. So make sure that we do that, okay? It's all right now, but we have to make that habit of making everything uniform. Okay, all right? Good. Jai Jinendra.
Bye. Jai
Thank you,
Jinendra.
everybody.
Jai Jinendra!
Jinendra!
Jai
Jai
Jinendra!
Jinendra!
Jinendra! Jinendra!
Jai Jinendra!
All right.
Jai Jinendra! Jai Jinendra!